All right, all right. Hello, hello on this absolutely amazingly beautiful day. It feels like summer. I'm wearing short sleeves, and that's because we've got some colder weather coming in, I think, in the next couple of days. So I'm going to take full advantage of it. But it's crazy here how warm the sun can feel. But anyway, let's talk about such a big topic today. We're going to talk about sleep. Oh, the elusive sleep that seems to hide from all of my perimenopause and postmenopause women, and it did for me for a long time. Now, sleep is one of my favorite things. It's not a area of frustration for me anymore. In fact, I love it, and I feel like I wake up and I feel great, and that's what I want for you. So this is day 11 of Spring into Action, 31 days to a simpler menopause. So if you are lying awake at night, struggling to fall asleep, or if you are waking up at 3 a.m. and unable to go back to sleep, you are not alone. And here is the truth. A lack of sleep makes everything harder. Mood, weight, cravings, brain fog, stress, irritability, all of it. And menopause itself adds new challenges, right? With these hormonal shifts, with stress, and even what you're eating plays a role. So today we're going to dive into why falling asleep and staying asleep is harder or more challenging in menopause, the connection between stress and sleep, and we will be going into deeper into stress on Thursday, why waking up at 3 a.m. is common and what it might mean, and how nutrition and routine can impact your sleep, and what you can do tonight to start feeling better. Okay, so you have to recognize that menopause struggles, they're not just in your head, they are biological. So here's what's going on. The hormonal shifts that are going on in your body with progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone impact melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, and cortisol, which is your stress hormone. Estrogen and progesterone have helped to regulate your sleep. As they decline, your body will struggle with sleep more. And I do find that a lot of women I talk to that have on and off in their lives had trouble sleeping find that it happens more frequently for them once they've entered into perimenopause. And it just doesn't stop when you move into postmenopause. So here's another reason that you might struggle, right? So if your cortisol, your stress hormone is rising prematurely, right? If it's rising at night when it shouldn't, around the 3 a.m., right? Instead of later on in the morning, we want our cortisol to be highest when we first wake up in the morning, and then it should reduce as the day goes on. And that's what helps melatonin rise at night, which is your sleep hormone. Now, what else happens? Blood sugar imbalances can wake you up. You are far more sensitive to this than you ever were. If your blood sugar crashes in the middle of the night, your body will probably release cortisol to raise it. And this is a common reason for 3 a.m. wake-ups. I've also talked to many women who just wake up plain old hungry. Why? Because they're not eating enough throughout the day. And then your stress response is heightened, right? Menopause because of the decline in estrogen, that buffered a lot of cortisol, that buffered a lot of stress. So it's not it's not in your head, or it's not your imagination that stress feels harder, that little things might stress you out more than they used to, right? This is because of the decline, the change in your estrogen levels. And when your stress hormones are high, when cortisol is high, melatonin is low and sleep suffers. And here's the vicious cycle, and this is why we can't really talk about sleep without mentioning stress, and why we're going to talk about stress on Thursday. But sleep and stress are highly correlated. Poor sleep increases stress. So it becomes, and then poor sleep increases stress, and then increased stress will affect your sleep. So it just becomes this vicious cycle that just moves on and on. I was talking right outside my window. So if you are struggling with sleep, you have to look at your daily routine. You've got to look at your stress. You've got to look at nutrition. Okay, so let's talk about specifically the 3 a.m., 4 a.m. kind of wake-ups, right? And struggling to fall back asleep. So reason number one, again, is the cortisol spikes. So, and this could be that because your stress response is out of balance. If you go to bed stressed, your body may dump cortisol in the middle of the night, waking you up, right? So what do you do for daily stress reduction? right? Yes, you can incorporate a calming nighttime routine. That can be very helpful, but I would also recommend that you bring in some kind of stress relief practices, active relaxation, which again, we're going to go into more detail on Thursday. But having a nighttime routine that sets your body up for success. I know that doesn't sound exciting. I know that doesn't sound like this magic solution, but none of this is about a magic solution. And it's not going to change just overnight. You have to start setting your body up for the consistency. Those of you that have had children, I want you to think back. What worked the best for your children when you were trying to get them to sleep? It was consistency. It was routine. Our body loves routine. But we also have to be resetting this nervous system. Most of us are running around with our stress response on all the time. And again, we'll be talking about that on Thursday. So reason number 2 is your blood sugar drops too low. If you are not eating enough during the day, or you're eating too much sugar right before you go to bed, your blood sugar will crash while you're sleeping and your body will release cortisol, and that can wake you up. So what do you want to look at? You've got to look at, what are you eating throughout the day? Are you eating balanced meals with protein, with fiber, and healthy fats to help stabilize your blood sugar? We're talking tomorrow about what these balanced plates look like. But we've been talking leading up to this the whole time. Hopefully you're starting to see maybe where you are eating a lot more processed foods than maybe your body can handle, or maybe you have not been prioritizing protein. All right, reason number 3 is poor sleep routine. Again, your body thrives on consistency. If you're going to bed and waking up at different times, your circadian rhythm can get all disrupted. And on that note, with your circadian rhythm, like when you get up in the morning, if it's not bright, if you can't get some natural sunlight within 30 minutes of getting up, make sure you're turning on overhead lights. Here in Utah, and now that we had the time change, 7:15 this morning, it was still not light out. So I rely on those overhead lights in the morning to help my body recognize, oh, it's time to wake up. So we need a consistent bedtime, we need a consistent wake up time, and we need consistent wind down routine. I know it doesn't sound fun. And a lot of you will tell me, oh, well, scrolling on my phone helps me fall asleep. And you might think that, but what it's doing in your body is probably not what you think it is. It's just like when we think, oh, a glass of wine will help me sleep. And it might, but you do not get quality sleep. You do not get restful sleep. And being on our phones can do exactly the same thing. So if you are waking at 3 a.m., your body is sending you a signal that it needs something. All right, so let's talk about nutrition and routine. So if you're trying everything to sleep better, but you're ignoring what you eat and how you manage stress, you are missing the biggest piece. And I know that we've not always correlated stress. For most of my life, I never understood the impact of stress and nutrition for sleep. So what you're eating is affecting your sleep. Eating enough protein and fiber throughout the day to stabilize the blood sugar, avoiding high sugar, high carb meals right before bed. So reducing or not even having at night refined sugar or heavy processed foods late in the day, or having caffeine late in the day. And then under eating throughout the entire day can all do this. Exercising too close when you're going to bed can be an issue for sleep. And then again, a sleep routine is non-negotiable, even if it sounds boring. Going to bed and waking up, no screens 1 hour, creating the wind down routine where you're reading, you're stretching, you're deep breathing, a warm bath, sit on the couch with a blanket and a warm cup of tea. Whatever it is that feels soothing and comforting for you, that helps prepare your body for sleep. You can do a brain dump where you try to get everything that's bothering you from your day out of your head, right? So if you're a journal or you like to try to get things out, right? This would be a good time to do that before you go to sleep. Keeping your room cool and dark, right? With nice layers. If you're struggling with the night sweats, hopefully what we've been sharing about nutrition is starting to help with those, but we haven't talked about phytoestrogen food yet. That's coming up. But we want to make sure that you have a comfortable environment that you are sleeping in. This is not, again, about one magic fix. It's about small daily habits that set your body up for sleep success. All right, so I want you to notice, where is your challenge? Is it falling asleep? Is it staying asleep? Is it both? Do you think it could be stress? Is it blood sugar? Is it a lack of routine? Is it because you're having night sweats? Like, let's hear about it. Where do you, with what I talked about, where do you see where you could make some changes that could make this better? And again, it's not going to change in one night. You have to be willing to put the time in, commit to, if you haven't been doing a sleep routine, commit to the next 30 days, and you want to be tracking to see what's happening. All right, you guys, tomorrow we're jumping back in food. We're going to talk about balanced plates, what they look like, because again, everything, your menopause symptoms, your weight loss, your sleep, everything is affected by what you eat. So I don't want you to miss this. This is, excuse me, going to be a big one. Me and my bubbly water. I apologize. So if you have questions, if you've tried this and you're still not getting sleep, reach out. I will definitely see what I can do to help you troubleshoot. All right, you guys, have a fabulous rest of the day.